Martial art is an ideal traditional combat practice for an overall development of the mind, body, and soul of your kids. It induces a sense of belief in oneself and allows a step towards self-defense, physical improvement, or competitions. Kids at school are enrolled in such practices to improve their physical and mental strength. With the high crime rate witnessed these days, kids by mastering this art can protect themselves from potential harm or in the worst cases save their lives. Are you confused which martial art to choose for your kids? Don't worry, I am here for you. Yes, there are a plethora of disciplines with different skills and techniques. Video further to know about 7 popular martial arts for kids, and the stories of their respective world champions. You will understand the philosophy behind them and it will be easier to choose the best for your kids based on the child's individual preferences and interest. Number 1 Judo. Judo is a Japanese martial art founded in 1882 by Professor Kano Jigoro, who visualized it as a route to become physically and mentally fit through disciplined training. Judo means a gentle way of taking down the opponent to the ground rather than hitting and attacking. It was made popular on a global level, inspiring thousands of youngsters to practice this technique as a part of their holistic education. It enlightens a sense of flexibility and balance in people applying the technique. For children, it comes loaded with both mental and physical health benefits like enhanced focus along with a boost in self-esteem and self-discipline. In addition, it works with a mantra, greatest productive utilization of energy, permitting channelizing the negative energy into the game in a controlled manner. Hostility and brutality are a major no for this procedure, giving an edge to your children to gain proficiency with the workmanship. It's the primary military workmanship to get decoration status at Olympics Games in 1964. Subsequently, it was acquainted with a worldwide public. Other hand-to-hand fighting like MMA successfully utilized the champion methods. These incorporated the hooking method, broadly perceived to protect the body from the wounds. Discussing the geniuses, Judo carries life to kids. It supports trust in them to pick their excursion, which they will prosper all through. Other than the well-being and wellness reasons, the workmanship additionally summons a serious game soul inside the kid to flourish at the international level. Israeli half-middleweight judoka Sagi Aharon Muki began preparing for judo at 4. He started searching for an ideal game to channelize his overspilling energy and discovered judo as a flat-out fitment. At 8 years old, he settled on a definitive choice of picking judo and submitting his expert self to the game. Following the big showdown in 2019 and European title in 2018, he turned into a definitive medalist notwithstanding enduring wounds within the sight of his home group. Number 2 Taekwondo. Taekwondo was officially acknowledged as an Olympic sport in 2000 and has proven to be one of the favorite martial arts with around 25 million professionals spread across 140 countries. Taekwondo is usually the first martial arts choice for teaching children. Learning martial arts would never go unnoticed. It has positive impacts on personality development and it overpowers negatives like a narrowed aggressive approach. This sport has an edge because of its advanced learning to contribute to children's character development and well-being. It gives a boost to their muscle strength, balance, and flexibility. With a variation in the styles and techniques, their body learns to settle and control itself in different situations. It is a Korean martial art amalgamated with a mix of styles from Korea, and styles from other neighboring countries such as karate, Chinese martial arts, and taekwondo. It is acclaimed for its high-impact kicks and a combination of physical ability and mental strength. Number 3. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has many learners. Students learn this art for protection and respect. It is a gentle art, which involves overthrowing the attackers and submitting the opponent by just a tap. This is a grappling combat sport with a high level of involvement of core elements, making the opponent submit using limb locks or chokes. It discovered its way in MMA through Royce Gracie, who crushed a Ultimate Battling champion by utilizing a BJJ procedure. This military craftsmanship was created in primitive Japan and was subsequently polished in Brazil in the 20th century. It instructs us to guard ourselves against the enormous estimated crowd utilizing safe and legitimate strategy. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a connecting with and engaging game for youngsters to create tolerance and critical thinking abilities. It permits them to manage disappointments and draw in themselves with others for building an idealistic character. It makes one expert the control of the rival with no forceful fighting. Other than functioning as a guard system, it distresses, causing one to feel more loose. An extreme Brazilian combative techniques champion, Sonia Plavkin, began rehearsing jiu-jitsu at a youthful age alongside an assortment of different games. Her life had proceeded, and she changed from Muay Thai to jiu-jitsu and advanced colossally in the game. She dominated the hooking strategy, which qualified her to contend in the men's division. She has won all significant titles in the wake of finishing a hip substitution system. Number 4. Muay Thai. Muay Thai is the most well-known battle sport in Thailand, which sufficiently functions as a self-protection framework for Thai individuals. This military workmanship is alluded to as the specialty of 8 appendages, the mainstay of Thai culture. This is a remarkable military craftsmanship where understudies are educated to utilize knees, elbows, tosses, clears, and the secure as a piece of the specialty of 8 appendages. The college offers awards for youngsters who ace the ability of battling. It guzzles kids learning Muay Thai with actual wellness and capacities, making them socially sure. It is demonstrated to be a fantastic speculation for alleviating pressure and considering the rudiments of self-preservation. It constructs a solid mental character. It stirs intensity in youngsters, as it follows a positioning framework which makes the children assemble an objective arrangement methodology as opposed to zeroing in on the predefined objectives. Surinamese Dutch very lightweight Muay Thai kickboxer, Sergio Wielsen, samurai, changed to Muay Thai and kickboxing at a youthful age, being upheld by his folks. He has been an unstable warrior regardless of his short height. A different time best on the planet has acclaimed titles in its Showtime, Lion Fight, and W5. He has denoted a spot in the game by battling against the best strikers of the period. Number 5. Krav Maga. Krav Maga is an authority self-preservation arrangement of the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, otherwise called the art of staying alive. The workmanship seems, by all accounts, to be intricate, having its strategies planned by Emi Lichtenfeld.
Now, Krav Maga is often thought of being the most practical, the best, the ultimate self-defense system that one can possibly train in.
He has made the workmanship look easy and sensible. Krav Maga, interpreted as contact combat, has reflex-based moves joining different military craftsmanship styles like punches from Western boxing, karate kicks, and knees. BJJ's ground battling and bursting, which has been taken from Chinese military craftsmanship, Wing Chun. There are no set principles for this game. It just targets killing the assailant at the most punctual. Not at all like other military craftsmanship disciplines. One is instructed and propelled with every one of the way to act both cautious and hostile, relying upon the circumstance to shield yourself from the damage. A great many guardians send their children to Krav Maga institutions for dominating the method. It permeates them with a feeling of achievement and accomplishment. They figure out how to center and focus on the drawn-out objectives with tolerance and difficult work, taking all things together, different backgrounds. At the edge point, as different controls, it tops up the youngster with certainty and confidence to be perceived as a person inside a gathering. Israeli blended military craftsman, Amir Perez, promoted this self-preservation framework known as Krav Maga. Subsequent to preparing in Muay Thai, he added to the law implementation, military and the universe of combative techniques. He has taken this military craftsmanship to another level by going about as the bordering figure of Krav Maga. Number 6. Wrestling. Wrestling is one of the most established hand-to-hand fighting on the planet, as it includes different takedowns, bolts, and pins. Since wrestling remains as probably the hardest game to prepare and contend in, your children will have unrivaled physical and mental molding. Filipino-American contender Brandon, the Truth, Vera began wrestling in school and conveyed the affection for the game with him into the United States Air Force, where he joined the military's Greco-Roman wrestling crew. The Truth kept on expanding upon his wrestling establishment, and he proceeded to win the debut One Heavyweight World Championship in December 2015. Number 7. Karate. Made as far back as the 1300s, karate is the most utilized hand-to-hand fighting on the planet. There are no weapons included, and the emphasis is on a full-body exercise. Most customary karate classes instruct understudies to fuse combative techniques as a lifestyle, with the accentuation being on the self rather than the adversary. Who it's for? This order is appropriate for youngsters keen on getting the hang of hitting methods with the hands and feet. Philosophical lessons center around driving a cheerful and healthy lifestyle, with action being an essential region of fixation. Breaking sheets and structures are a significant components utilized during preparing. You already know martial arts can instill confidence, respect, loyalty, and honor in your kids. However, did you know each martial art also has its own benefits, separate from those mentioned above? No matter which martial art you choose for your children, or they choose for themselves, they will reap the many physical and psychological benefits of studying that discipline. Conclusion. After touching the depth of each martial art, you now are aware what would suit your child the most. Hence, it is ideal to get your kid enrolled in a suitable martial art which complements his/her interest and skills. This is an ultimate way of scoring the best possible results out of the sport.